All right. What's new? Injury report. We don't, again, don't expect anybody back. Fred Ross is going to be out for the year with a broken collarbone from the last game. Everybody else that's been out, I mean, all those, I can't even go through the whole list of how many guys we have already out. They're all still out. And everybody else is about the same. Tyler's going to be the same as he was last week. We'll see as the week goes on. He's day-to-day. Dak, as I said, Dak will probably be ready for a bowl game at this point. And, in talking to our doctors, we hope he progressed faster, but it hasn't happened, so we hopefully get him back for a bowl game. Everybody else is still out with that stuff. Obviously, different week, playing on a short week, but it's neat with your rivalry game. I mean, I'm excited to play this game on Thanksgiving night. My first, experience, I think, with the Egg Bowl. I think I was in a hotel room in Palo Alto, California, getting as a grad assistant at Notre Dame, watching the ball be kicked up in the air and see Mississippi State score, I think, 10 points in the last 30 seconds of the game to win. And that was Thanksgiving night. And so, I think it's a really neat deal and neat opportunity for us to get the opportunity to go play this game on Thanksgiving night. And, a little bit of tradition brought back to the game and the excitement in which it has.
13 players, 88 games combined.
Yeah, I think that was low. I went with Justin. It's actually, I think it's over 100. But we have over 100 players. We've missed over 100 games in our 2 deep this year, so something like that. Coach Mullen, I've never had a season like that before, so I think when we've had that many people miss.
Let's just talk about Ladarius Perkins' career and what and of course he's been here a while now and he's done a lot for the program. And I know he got hurt Saturday, but just talk about his leadership.
Done a lot. We expect him to play, to be okay to play on this game. But Perk's done a really, really good job for us and throughout his career. And you look at guys a lot of times. I think, a lot of the guys in our program and the success guys have in their career, I think it gets lost sometimes. We're in such an instant gratification society, and come in and, oh my goodness, a guy redshirted, and what does that mean? It means he should redshirt. I mean, I think most guys, I wish they gave everybody 5 years of eligibility, to be honest with you, and that way they could get maybe a little bit of playing time here and there as a freshman in certain games, or on every once in a while cover a kickoff or learn about the speed of the game, just so the guys keep themselves motivated and interested. I think they do better academically when they know there's a chance they can play. But a guy like Perk comes in, red shirts, did a great job with all of that stuff. The next year came in, rotated with Vic Ballard. But continued to progress. Was a change-up guy, made a lot of big plays for us, and was in the kicking game, and then all of a sudden became the featured back, and he has a 1,000-yard rushing season. I know this year probably statistically didn't turn out the way he wanted it to with the numbers, just with being kind of getting banged up a bunch of different times during the season. But it doesn't diminish anything that he's accomplished here and all the great things he's accomplished, and especially being a role model on how to do things the right way, how to take care of your business, and how to develop as a player, and not be worried, about too many guys worry about the wrong things, like, oh, boy, as a freshman, how many carries did you get? You know what? As a freshman, how many right assignments did you have? That's much more important. And as guys learn to do that, they learn to develop, they become much better players.
It's kind of take you back to your first year with Tyler when he was committed,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of wanted to talk to him and wanted to really see his commitment to Mississippi State. Kind of talk about how that relationship's grown.
Well, that was great. At the quarterback position, that's the guy that has to lead your program. And so when I got hired, I didn't know Tyler. And he didn't really know me, and that's the guy that you're going to put everything on, and so I think when we first talked, I wanted to make sure that he was the guy. He was. I didn't know the previous staff or any of those guys on the previous staff, so I didn't know how their recruiting was and how they had done things. So I wanted to make sure though the guy that was going to be our leader wanted to be our leader for all the right reasons and do it the right way. And and the great thing about it is he did that. When we had that conversation, he said, I think, I don't know, whether he decommitted or whatever everybody wants, that's all irrelevant to me, that stuff. That's language for the newspapers. He knew he wanted to be here, wanted to look at things, but I remember him calling me. I was in Florida coaching the national championship game, went to coach that game. I think it was the night before the game or 2 nights before the game. And he called, he said, I want to be your leader, I want to be your quarterback. And so I think that was, that showed he had what we were looking for, and he's done that throughout his career. Look at his performance. I mean, I think one of his best performances of his career on Saturday. To come in as a fifth-year senior, not be 100%, have half a practice during the week, and to step in a tough environment against a good defense, one of the best pass rushing defenses in the league, and go 18 for 28 for 260 and 2 touchdowns, and lead the team the way he did. I mean, it was a windy day. It was a cold, windy day for a guy that's not 100%, that didn't get many reps of practice playing the top pass rushing team in the league. And he went out and led the team to a win. And to me, that just shows, I guess, why we had that conversation in the beginning and why we're excited that, he's been our quarterback since he's been here, and it shows what's happened, that, he had what it takes to win, to lead our program, and that all showed on Saturday.
Is it safe to assume that you have a Wildcat package with Jamie on as a high school quarterback? 'Cause, you had it with Chad. It's the same position, but there is a different skill set there.
Yeah, it's a very different type of deal. Chad, we'd have, a little player or two here or there for him to snap at it. A bunch of guys are high school quarterbacks. So, I got Gabe football right here in Starkville High School. He played Johnny Manziel the week we played him that. So they called him KB football that week. No, we have some guys. So, I mean, we'll have a plan. You got, hopefully Tyler's okay to go again. If he's not, we got Damian. Damian's been in pretty interesting now for the last 2 weeks. He's had his number called at some interesting times. I guess as a coach, I've done him a favor. His first play was at the -3 yard line on Saturday, and his last play was in overtime. And he didn't get many snaps in between. And then the week before, he rolls out in the fourth quarter to try to lead a comeback against the #1 team in the country. So I guess as far as big situations, we've thrown him in that fire the last couple weeks. But we'll see how it goes. But we'll have a plan. You got the Sam Cowart, Josh Hand, or know all the different checks. We'll have some stuff with we've got to put Jamie on back there. We'll be able to do that to go play some quarterback if we have to.
Coach, you've been on the outcome of both sides of the Egg Bowl. 1-3, lost 1. Have you been able to see how it's impacted recruiting in state just from the outcome of that game?
To be honest with you, I don't think it has had much of an impact. To be honest with you. I know it has a personal impact. I much more enjoyed the 3 than the 1, and just leaves a smile on your face. But I really haven't seen a huge swing one way or the other. I don't think whether we've come out on top or not on top. We've won and got a lot of great players, and we've lost, got a lot of great players. They've won and got a lot of great players, and they've lost and got a lot of great players too. So, to me, I don't know that it really turns much.
Can you describe the Sunday after you got beat last year? Just what was your emotions, and was there kind of a shock to your system having it never happened before, and having lost?
Our emotions were what bowl game we were going. To be honest with you, I wasn't real happy Saturday night. I was probably even less happy after watching the film on Sunday morning. At which point I think we had a recruiting meeting, and I had a meeting. John Clark and I got together to put together a December schedule that would affect whatever bowl games we possibly could have gone to. And I got in a car and went on the road, headed out recruiting. So, for us, to be honest with you, you just don't have time to sit there and, I mean, you could say, boy, what a great win for us. That was 113 years we had our first win in the state of Arkansas of playing football here, right? I think first time we beat them twice in a row and who knows how long and all these great things. You know, I mean, I was at my desk at 7:15. It was a done. I'm on to the next game by 7:15 that night. So I got to enjoy that for about 45 minutes and move on. And so I think you look at the loss the same way. You're kind of, what's next? And yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't make me happy. I can tell you that much. But as far, like, I'll be honest with you, I'm just as mad today about losing last year as I was a year ago Sunday or whatever it was. That doesn't change things. But, I mean, I guess that you don't have time really to kind of dwell on things. You just are already on to the next thing that's got to happen within the program.
Dan, could you talk a little bit more about your first Egg Bowl experience out in what was Palo Alto or wherever it was? I mean, I find that's interesting, and maybe not as interesting as the last one. But where were you? What were you thinking when you were watching the game? And now you're obviously in the middle of it.
I'll be honest. It was really. I remember the whole deal. We got on a plane. Casey Robin was sitting next to me. He lives down in New Orleans now. He was our backup left tackle, and they put one of those trays on your plate, because we're on a big plane, a long flight, airplane food. And he looked at me and said, "Happy Thanksgiving." Beautiful Thanksgiving. No, we got out there, flew out there, landed. I think we had practice on that Thursday out there. I think we went out, early to go practice because we were on the other side of the country. Went to the hotel room, had a big Thanksgiving dinner. We had all our meetings. So we're back in the hotel room that night, and it was obviously late, so I didn't see much of the game. I just saw the end of the game, and turned it on. But I mean, it's I guess in some ways you just look at games, and so I mean, when I came here, I just always assumed that that was a Thanksgiving Day game. In Manchester they play the Turkey Bowl on Thanksgiving. No matter what. In fact, my senior year of high school, we played it in 8 inches of snow. We're the only game played in all of New England that day because they don't cancel the Turkey Bowl. And unfortunately lost to West. Very crushing because we had already beaten them twice, once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. Lost in New Hampshire's where the city championships after the state championships. State championships wrap up. And then after state championships in New Hampshire, I think were last weekend, and it's cold up there, and so then the city championships afterwards. So, but I mean, and I say that though, but you have this is a Thanksgiving, like to me, I just assume like the Egg Bowl's on Thanksgiving, like the Cowboys and the Lions are on Thanksgiving, and so and I think it was on that for a while after that. So, I mean, if we weren't playing or if I was around and you turn on TV and you see that game on Thanksgiving night, and it was a pretty neat deal. And when I came here, I was kind of disappointed to find out it wasn't on Thanksgiving night anymore. Now it is. I'm excited. I think it brings something. When you have something like that, it brings something even. Not that the rivalry needs more, but I think it just it makes it more unique.
Of course, it's called the Egg Bowl, and a lot of people are saying, you said Dak will be back for a bowl game. That's not the Egg Bowl, correct? Or I know it's a wordplay. You said Dak will be out until a bowl game.
Yeah.
It's not the Egg Bowl, correct?
No, yeah. No,
okay.
I'm
not
that smart. I guess I could be that deceiving and trickeration, but and talking to our doctors. No, it's I mean. They said it's just it was just one of those 1 in a million type of things where he got hit. There's no structural damage, and just until all the strength comes back, he's not going to be cleared to go play. And I think they said, in one range of motion he has all his strength back, and the other he doesn't have much. And it's just kind of in one range of motion, the nerve is just not firing the right way, is not recovered the right way yet. So. Way in the back. You could yell.
I know it's sort of a strange reversal of fortune is that you're on the other side of the coin this time where you're trying to play for a bowl game rather than last year where Ole Miss was trying to play for a bowl game coming into this game. Is it sort of strange and bizarre to see, sort of this strange twist of fate where you're now in the same position Ole Miss was last year?
Oh, no, 2 years ago we were in the same position here at home. We're 5-6 coming into this game, got a big win, went on to the Music City Bowl. Got a win there too. So I don't see much of it besides that. You know, I mean, to be honest with you, I think when you play this game, so we could be 11-0 or we could be 0-11. I think you know, when you play this game, for a lot of fans, for a lot of people in this state, for how you feel. You know, I bet if you talk to a lot of our fans, said, "Hey, you're going to go 11-1, lose the Egg Bowl," they'd be pretty disappointed. You're going to go 1-11, win the Egg Bowl, they'd say, "Oh, I'd take that." You know, I probably wouldn't be happy with either of the scenarios right there. I'd want to be 12-0 and win the Egg Bowl. But when you look at that stuff, I think this game in itself is just kind of its own. It's really its own entity. It's a special game. Rivalry games are that way. Rivalry games are so fun because of that way. You know, because it's kind of its own unique game, and a lot of times there's a lot to be played for on top of it. You know, and I've been fortunate enough to play in those type of games. You know, and rivalry games, it means even more. But still, you know, I mean, your number one focus is, I mean, you want to beat your rival and get the bragging rights for the state for the next year.